All right, let's talk about today how to be among the 1% of XRP holders. Let's get into it. Okay, there's going to be kind of two parts in my opinion to this. Is the first one is kind of like the psychological behind being among the 1% of XRP holders, which to me is like if you have a plan and you stick to that plan and a long-term plan, then you're already among, the 1%, to me, in my opinion. And then the second part is going to be just how much you hold, like kind of how many XRP tokens you hold can kind of put you in the 1%, 5%, and 10% that I found here. So let's go through this. So here's how to be among 1% of XRP holders who will thrive as 99% may sell early. And if I get down here, which is kind of saying in this article how to stay among the 1%. Said this person, he discouraged investors from selling their XRP to pay bills. According to him, people who believe XRP could be worth up to $100 should never sell the asset. The Alpha Lions Academy founder suggested that it would be difficult to repurchase XRP after selling it, adding that the price would likely spike just as it had risen from 50 cents to $2. Secondly, he urged investors to create alternative income streams such as remote online work to generate additional funds. The situation is getting worse, which is why people are selling their XRP. It breaks my heart, especially since they understand we're living through this transformation, but I get it. You have to pay bills. With just economic uncertainty and stuff happening right now, inflation, war, tariffs, all that, people that might have gotten into, crypto and XRP and put some money into, just with the hype and the speculation around it and not really knowing a lot about it or not having a plan and putting too much money into it, you see having to sell out to pay for bills and pay for stuff because it is just the economy is just looking real rough and very uncertain right now and scary. So that's where I'm like, he says, discourage investors from selling their XRP to pay bills. Yeah, but I'm like, if you have to do it, you have to do it right. Like, I'm not going to discourage that. You got to do what you got to do. But I will say I discourage not having a plan. If you don't have any sort of plan, you come to it blindly, or you just come into it because of just hype and you don't really understand crypto, in this case XRP, then I do discourage that. Because I'm like, you need to have a plan, you need to have money, set aside, you need to be talking with your spouse, or if you're in a serious relationship, them about money and about what you're wanting to invest in, and not just be putting money in that, it needs to be going to bills, needs to be going to providing for your family or yourself, or education or anything. That's not, I would never say that. And quite frankly, I do discourage against that. I would, don't be just running around out here without a plan and just putting money that you really don't have in places that you could lose it all. Not investing advice, just my opinion. How to be, in my words, how to be among the 1% is have a plan. And stick to that plan and make sure it's simple, you understand it. Yeah, like I said, if you're in a relationship, a serious relationship, or have a spouse, they understand it. They know what's happening with your guys' money, right? That it's kind of long term. It's for the long haul. And if you're thinking, it could be worth, even $10, not even $100, even though I do think $100 is achievable one day, not today, not this year, but one day. But $10 could be, if the market is favorable for the rest of the year, could happen this year, right? Basically at $2.50 to $10 is just a 4x, right? Don't do math in public, but so that's my opinion. To be among the 1% and kind of the psychological way would be have a plan. But then for how much you hold, this is what I found. So if you want to be among the 1% of XRP holders in terms of money and how many XRP tokens you own, one needs to hold a minimum of 52,000 XRP, which is equivalent to roughly 108,742 at current prices, which I don't know whether this is basing it off the current price, but you can do the math. I'm not going to do it right now. Is have a roughly 52,000 XRP and only 63,000 and some change wallets hold that right now, meet that. So the top 1%, 52,000, top 5%, if you hold 9,000 XRP, which is around $19,000. But then I looked up 10%. So if you want to be in the top 10% of XRP holders, and this was as of yesterday, June 24th, you would need generally to hold around 2,500 XRP just to be in the top 10. So if you want to beat out 90% of XRP holders and just how much XRP you hold is 2,500, which is not a crazy amount, depending on your finances and everything. Because I think it was, see where it says, like most people hold 500 or less XRP, which, hey, if you think it's going to 100, yeah, here it is. A relatively small number of XRPs controls a large percentage of the total XRP supply. For instance, while many wallets hold less than 500 XRP, a small number of wallets hold a large amount. 500 or less is most wallets hold. But hey, if you think it's XRP is going to $100, 500 is not bad either, right? So again, it's all about your plan. It's all about how much money you're really willing to lose is how the psychology comes down, behind it. Is like, are you willing to lose the money you have in it? You got to be okay with that. Like psychologically, mentally, emotionally, all of it, you have to be okay. If you put $10,000 in XRP, you have to be totally okay with, if I lose the $10,000, I'm financially okay, I'm emotionally okay, like that's okay, and I can move on. And if it's not, not saying XRP is going to go to zero or crypto is going to go away, but that's just the psychology behind it. You have to be okay with losing it all. But yeah, that's just it for this video. So as always, do your own due diligence, do your own research about what you want to invest in, if it's crypto or XRP, or, I love talking about XRP, but, I'm not like, you have to invest in XRP. I'm like, I want you to learn, not just go down the rabbit hole and for years learn about something. At some point you just got to do it, right? And you're going to make mistakes, and that's how we learn. But any crypto, learn about it, see what the chart's looking at or what people are saying about it, how legit it is and stuff. And I don't really do meme coins anymore. I've done that. I stick with right now I stick with Bitcoin and XRP, but I always look at like the top 10, and that's kind of where my focus is. But yep, thanks for watching as always. Take care, and stick around my channel, like, subscribe, watch some more videos, comment, whatever you want to do, or click off and go watch something else, or scroll on your phone forever, you corporate drone. Do whatever you want, your life. But thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.